Okay. Thank you so much for your time. And more than that, since all of us do have time, thank you for being willing to share your expert wisdom on this topic. Thank you.
Alam mo, this is a blessing also.
A lot of people, a few days into the quarantine, adjusting a bit, but also dito na pumapasok yung the reality diba? Parang the first few days, it was like trying to feel it out. But now that it's been quite some time, the reality is setting in. We chose 3 particular questions ni Doc that we would like to focus on. And the first question is from a work-at-home mom. Her question is how to focus on work pa rin despite what is happening and still take care of your family. Tao lang ako, nagpapanik, but how can I keep a clear mind because so many people are depending on me?
Alam mo, napaka-complicated ng question, but medyo i-dissect natin ha. How can you focus on work and what is happening to take care of your family? Yung second niya is nagpapanik din siya as a person. I'll give you 3 points. First, you have to assess your own posture and your priorities. What do I mean by assess your own posture? Nasaan ka in this situation? If you're panicking, alam ko ayaw mo pakita sa mga anak mo, pero inamin mo na pa sa sarili mo na you are weak, nagpapanik din ako, tao lang ako. Did you embrace that fact? Kasi yes, we do that. Kaya lang, we try to be, go, hindi, kaya yan, yes. But you also have to step back and say na, I am very limited here. Ito yung nararamdaman ko. But I will not let this stop me. So you have to check ano yung posture mo. And then check also from there, ano yung priority mo? Okay, work from home ka. Maybe you can set also the time for you to work, but you have to take care of the family. So kung nag-work ka dati, sino nag-aalaga sa mga anak mo? Diba? I think marami yung ganun yung scenario eh. While you're at home, if you're used to be working outside, have the person taking care of your kids, take care of your kids pa rin. Kaya lang, I know, mababother ka pa rin. Like, if you have a small house or limited resources, limited space, yun yung concern eh. They will tug you, they will want to play with you, of course, they want to cling to you. Pero you have to teach your kids also that this is mommy's time. Kaya ang dapat, yung priority mo is the work, if needed. Don't be guilty kung ipa-priority mo yung work sa bahay. Kasi we all need to work. Kasi I think nagigilty tayo na sa bahay tapos nagtatrabaho ko. Kailangan natin lahat magtrabaho, diba? But make sure you give ample time also for your kids para hindi nila ma-feel na you're just working at home. So if you will give time to work, 8 hours yan or 6 hours yan, you have to spend time with your kids. Gusto ko yung last point niya, Bianca. You have to be aware of your needs and ability. Ano yung kaya mong ibigay? I always tell this to moms and especially to women. You can have it all, but not all at the same time.
I agree.
That. I love saying that.
I say that also.
Personally, I'm a mom of 2. I don't like being called a superwoman kasi hindi ko naman kaya lahat.
Yes.
Be aware of your needs and your ability. Ano yung kaya mo today? Kaya mo bang maging mom? Kung hindi mo kaya, and then it's okay. Don't feel guilty about it. Tomorrow, ang daming demand sa trabaho. So, yun na muna asikasuhin mo at ano lang yung kaya mo. Hindi mo kaya magluto. You have a husband, you have a child. I think we have to move out of that concept na dapat I need to be strong for them. Kaya lang, what if you're carrying the burden on your shoulder tapos ikaw yung bumigay? Hindi naman sabihin na ikaw yung maging infected by, the sickness. Pero what if hindi mo kaya? So, you have to share the burden with your partner. You have to share the burden with friends. And I like it that you came up to us to talk about this, to ask this. So that's awareness of your needs and ability. And the last, choose what is in your control. Diba? We're overwhelmed by a lot of things. We can have it all, but not all at the same time. Hindi sabay-sabay. Alin dyan, among them, yung mga bagay na kontrolado mo. Yung nangyayari sa labas, hindi mo kontrolado yon. Pero yung how we are reacting, if you're panicking, then we start with ourselves. The reaction of your kids, you have to check also, baka naman ganting reaction nila kasi ganito na yung emotional climate namin sa bahay. Meaning, lagi akong masungit, lagi ko silang pinupush away, or lagi na lang akong hindi attune sa nangyayari. So you have to choose what is in your control. And the first one, you are in control of how you are. So take care of yourself. Yes. Don't be a superwoman because we're not there.
Yes. And Pinays, we tend to be martyrs. I guess this is a time to train ourselves kasi mahirap eh. For some friends that I know na work from home, feeling nila mas madami pang work na binibigay ngayon dahil nga O you're at home naman may time. Parang ganyan. Unlike when we were
Yes.
outside, it's a balance that will be difficult to strike. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess day by day, Doc, no? We'll figure it out day
One
by day.
day at a time. For now, 1 hour at a time.
Correct.
One day at a time. Diba? Kasi parang you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow or something. And then also, one task at a time. Kasi we get to be overwhelmed. Kasi we tend to overthink also. So we have to start choosing what is in our control for us not to go, ano pa mangyayari sa future? Paano na yung sa May? Paano na sa June? So ngayon, we have to be in the here and now and to address our situation right now, the needs of our family right now, our own emotions at now. Yun muna, that is choosing what is in our control. The rest, we leave it to God. We leave the everything for tomorrow. Let the worries of tomorrow be for tomorrow.
Okay. Really great advice. And yun nga, parang magkakaalaman when we do try it na di ba? Sa ganyan, Doc.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, the second question is from a mom. How do we make the kids understand the situation of having to stay at home away from other family and friends for the community?
Depende sa age ng kid. Yung mga age ng kids na 3-year-old and you tell them about sacrifice, they will not grasp it yet.
Yeah.
It's too much for them. But it's nice to know that for 3 years old or mga toddlers until 4, they see it as a chance for mommy and daddy to be home.
Yes.
So, focus on the good. You try to explain, use age-appropriate terms. Depende sa edad ng anak mo kung ano yung nangyayari. So, maybe you can use it for the younger kids na we have a virus outside and then we cannot go out. Everybody cannot go out because we will be infected. Period. And then, substitute mo na siya ng maganda. But we can do this at home while we're here. Kasi the kids will keep looking if they're not busy. But don't over-busy them. I always tell that, don't overstimulate your kids kasi kayo rin yung hahanapan ng activity. For bigger kids, you use stories and diagrams. Like, in my case, my kids are 10 and 13, they can pretty understand well. So, yung diagrams that I saw on social media, I use them as tools. Guys, we need to do this. It's because this will happen if we don't. Ang dali nilang nag-grasp kasi kids like stories and, these kids are very visual. It's easy for us to understand. And then the third one, you have to be upfront. Don't lie to your kids. Don't make up stories because, you're lying. Even though you feel that they would be stressed, let them deal with it. And we deal with it as a family. So you have to be upfront to them now. No, we cannot have that. We have to make adjustments. Why? Kids have a lot of why. Because for now, it is what we're supposed to be doing. You just give what is it needed. And maybe the best thing to do is be upfront by asking, what do you think is happening right now? Kung marami na silang na-pick up sa'yo. It's important also for parents to be very composed. And it's also important for parents na sila mismo, they're aware of what's happening so they can explain.
I totally agree with what you said about the toddler. I don't know if ako lang yung
Yes.
parent na ganito, but my toddler has significantly become sweeter to both me and my husband because we have been home. I mean, she's always been sweet, pero extra sweet.
The other day, I asked my 10-year-old,
Yeah.
do you feel love? Yeah, super. I think I did not spend too much time with her that day. I did not focus on her because I was doing other things. But then being home means a lot. Pero when we be home, we just have to remember, pag tayong cranky and wag dapat ma-pick up ng mga anak natin yung sarili nating emotional turmoil. Kasi if not, the being home is not a pleasant experience for everyone.
That's true. That's very true. And dagdag ko lang, Doc, since this is the time that we are on quarantine, lalo na for working parents na usually would spend 2 hours in traffic, 3 hours, 4 hours. Yung time na free up na yon, if it won't be family time, it can be sleep time. Kasi sleep will really help your body and your mind recover. Diba? Ika nga ni Ariana Huffington, kailangan ang sleep to thrive. So, yeah, makakatulong yun sa crankiness, Doc, if we sleep a bit more.
There's another thing, but I think it's related to the third question. But I'll mention it na.
Sige, go
Aside
ahead.
from you said sleep, you do also a digital detox. Kasi baka your mind is full. It's too loaded with work. It's too loaded with house chores. It's too loaded with the kids, bickering and demanding. And it's too loaded by the news outside. You have to quiet yourself and you have to detox.
Okay, the third and final question, which is something na common, nakikita ko to with many friends. Is it normal to feel weird about spending so much time with my family? Of course, I love them, would do anything for them, but now we usually end up being together, but all on our phone.
Yes, it's very weird feeling kasi hindi naman tayo sanay na literally 24/7 with them. Unless we're on vacation, hindi nila nakikita yung ating working patterns, hindi nila naririnig tayo being on command, especially if we are, video conferencing with our boss and with our colleagues. So they see a different hat. It's really awkward, especially if there's a lot of issues lying around in the family. Being in quarantine, we get to confront issues in the families. If you are just on your phones all the time, it may be an indicator that you're not really talking. The relationship might just be functional, quarantine or not. Ano ibig sabihin nito? It's just to happen that you're family members, but there's no emotional connection. Why? Kasi if there's emotional connection in the family, you would rather talk to your family members than be on the phone all the time. Yes, you might be wanting to be on the phone all the time. So what we can do is, one, you have to take risk in, starting a conversation with them. Kumusta yung work mo? How are you with this setup? Small steps to be able to connect with them na konting kumusta. Until eventually, who knows, baka mawala yung ilangan. Kasi I'm sure one of the silver lining that this has, I believe, sana makita natin na we can strengthen our families. Kasi we don't really have ways to strengthen it other than now because we're really stuck with each other. So you have to be willing to take risk. Kung meron kayong past issue, medyo put aside. It's risking yourselves to them, opening up yourselves to them. So that's being willing to take risks. And the next one that I love talking about is that balance digital use with real life engagements. So lagi yan. For small kids, make sure that they play. If you have a garage, let them also play in the garage. Kasi for me, it's balancing their digital life and online life. Tayo rin. My husband and I try to take walks in the afternoon para we get to smell fresh air din. So kung limited yung resources, find ways to balance digital use with real life engagement because connections with the family is very, very important. And because of that, the last point is you have to be intentional. What do I mean by be intentional? Hindi basta-basta ibababa ng lahat yung telepono. So maybe ikaw na lang yung maggawa ng game. Okay, between 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. walang pick up ng phone ha. Kung sino mag-pick up niyan, you have to put consequences. You have to be intentional in saying also na during lunchtime, kahit na busy tayo sa isa't isa, busy tayo sa trabaho, let's all meet together and have lunch without our phones or without our gadgets. Para hindi mawala yung opportunity to be stuck with each other. And eventually, you will ease out feeling na comfortable na ulit ako sa kanila. Baka tanong to ng mga adults, you become so busy being adults at hindi sanay ng talagang we're literally forced to just be in the house. But being in the house has a lot of issues. So put aside issues first and be intentional in making better connections with your family. There.
Thank you so much, Doc. I mean, you explained it so simply and very doable, yung tips. Maraming salamat. I wish you and your family...
Thank you, Bianca, for this opportunity.
Thank you. I hope you continue your own videos on your page.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all.
Stay safe and well, Doc.